Monday, December 12th, 2016, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's just going past 11 a.m. London time or 6 a.m. New York time. So yeah, just covering the markets. A big development in crude. We're up 4.5%. The U.S. crude or the light sweet crude. So we've basically doubled from a low of around 27 in January this year. We're now at 54 crude oil. So that's quite significant. It's going to even impact the government's measure of inflation or the CPI. And of course, they use the core CPI where they exclude food and energy. You know, the reason I put air quotes for their inflation number is that inflation in my book is not a government measure of prices. Inflation is the creation of money and credit out of thin air. It's the printing of money. What you get as a result is rising prices. People, you know, they get fooled by that because they think that prices going up is inflation, but it's not. It's a symptom of inflation. But anyway, let's have a look here. Crude oil, U.S. crude is 54.42 right now, up $2.34 or 4.5%. And earlier this year in January, we got down to 27. So basically, we've doubled since the beginning of the year. Here's the chart of crude, and as you can see, I usually don't cover crude, but it's starting to move a lot, and it's going to drag the whole commodity space higher, in my opinion. And we've broken basically 12-month high, and there's going to be a lot of momentum, I think, behind this trade. The high there in May 2015 was 63, so that could be a next target. So it's formed a very big base, crude oil. So yeah, I think it's one way crude. The other thing I like to point out, and I've made quite a few videos lately about the US 10-year yield and the bond market. So I was talking about how 2.5 was, you know, a key level, 2.5 yield on the 10-year yield, 10-year note, sorry, 2.5 yield. And this morning, we've broken through 2.5. Let's see, we got up to 252.62, 2.5262. So we're right now at 2.5078. So we're up 4 basis points. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens when New York comes in a couple of hours or so. See if this yield continues to go higher. There's not much resistance here until 3%. Round figure, 2.75. People are going to look at that a little bit. So what are the other markets doing? While gold traded to a new low, not for the year, but new recent low of 1151.21 this morning, but we're now 1155.50, down 4.5. But silver is doing very well. It's at 1691, up 6. The low was 1666 this morning. And I'll bring up the chart of silver here first. Let's look at silver. So here's the chart of silver. The low was at the end of November at 1617. Basically, there's a double bottom there. And ever since then, we've been going up. So silver has actually not made new lows since the end of November. It's actually kept going up. Of course, silver is a mix of monetary and industrial commodity. Gold has been disappointing, of course. You know, we haven't, you know, we've been making new lows here since the election, and today we made a low of 1151. So a lot of people were looking for this 1150 to 1200 area. So who knows? The thing with gold and silver, precious metals, is that when we see, you know, a correction or a negative market in the precious metals, usually silver leads the way also leads the way on the way up. So what we have here is a non-confirmation. Gold made a low today, and 2 week, and silver made its low about 2 weeks ago, maybe even more. So that's the only, I guess, positive we can take at the moment. Gold has been disappointing, of course, and it shouldn't be, because I think there's still a lot of problems out there. We don't know what kind of policies the President-elect Trump is going to bring in his first 100 days. I think the market, they've just priced in too many things in too short a time. So I think there's going to be, readjustments, corrections, and everything. So what about the Dow? Well, we're up 16 at 19,769. The high, though, was 19,877. So we were up over 100 points there. So we've come off the highs in the Dow. S&P is at 2258, down 2 points. It got up to 2271. So yeah, it was up about 14. So the stock market is actually made a new high earlier on today, the futures, and has now come back down. So in terms of the currencies, let's have a look here. The dollar index right now, it's at 101.30, down a third on the day. We got up to a high of 101.78. Compared to the recent high has been 102.05 in the dollar index. So quite interesting markets. Difficult to say, what's going to happen. If we're going to have a big correction in the stock market. Don't forget, we have the Fed meeting starting tomorrow and finishing on Wednesday. They will announce their decision on Wednesday. The market expects them to hike by 25 basis points. There are some people who think it might be 50. I doubt it will be 50. If it is 50, it could put the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. So so to summarize, oil has doubled now since January. Bond yields have almost doubled since the low. The 10-year bond yield has almost doubled since July. We got down to 135. We're now at 250. So 270 would be a double of that bond yield. This is definitely going to hurt, the housing market and also consumer credit. We're already starting to see that mortgage rates have gone up. This affects, mortgage rates instantaneously, these rises in the Treasury yields. Gold and silver, what I can summarize from gold and silver is that silver is doing well. We've actually bottomed at the end of November in silver. Even though gold has kept going down, today we hit 1150, 51, so practically that level that a lot of people were looking at. So is that going to be a bottom? I don't know. It's very difficult to predict things in the short term. Longer term, where would you like to keep a lot of your wealth? In a bank as an unsecured creditor? Or would you prefer to hold one of these in your hand that you can sell at any time, insurance that you with no counterparty? I think I know what I'd like to do. But so that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you'd like to donate to my channel, there's some links below in the description. We accept Bitcoin, BitGold. You can pay through PayPal or Patreon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.